I recently met a new foreign exchange student who had just arrived to the area. She came here from Latin America, and she was in the pit. Absolutely miserable. She had been here maybe just a week, and her face was covered with tears. And although her English was good, she certainly couldn't say everything that was in her heart. But what she said was, "I don't know how I'm going to do this. I feel horrible. I think I might have made a huge mistake." I remember feeling like that at times in my life. Have you ever been in that position? Not sure how you're going to do it? What I said to her is what God said to Simeon and to us. If you could see the future for you that I see, you would be smiling right now. I know it's hard. I know that right now it feels like there's no way you can do it. There's no way you can wait. There's no way you can trust that this is going to work out. But hold on and don't give up. You will get there. Just trust. The problem for a lot of us is if we can't see the solution to our problem, we can't figure out how to endure. And so often, we're not going to see the solution. If we saw it, we would do it. I have a priest friend who summed it up by saying, "I wish I had 2020 foresight instead of just 2020 hindsight." You know how that is. 2020 vision is especially good looking backwards. We can tell everything that we should have done differently, the things we could have done, the things we would have done. That's very clear to us, but it's the path forward that feels so unclear. And since this is the year 2020, since this is a gift from God for us to sharpen our spiritual vision, we are being invited to consider how we can grow in our foresight, since our hindsight is already 2020. One of the issues that we have is we stand way too close to our problems. We're standing right up against them, and they are all distorted from how big and close they seem. And that is a natural thing for us to do. But if we knew for sure that in the bigger picture that you have to step back in order to see, if we could know for sure that in that bigger picture our story has a happy ending, do you think it would help you to endure just a little more? How would it change your life if you believed with all your heart that this story has a happy ending? This is what must have gotten Nelson Mandela through his imprisonment. Can you believe his story? Jailed for a crime he didn't commit in a racist country. 35 years he sat there. Can you imagine the days, the months, the years that felt hopeless? Do you wonder if perhaps he actually could have seen in his mind's eye or in his heart the image of his inauguration day as the president of that country, which only happened after he was released after all of those years? Can you imagine how that might have helped him? This actually happens all the time right here in our own community. This is the reason that people get knee replacements. It's the reason. They're told, this is going to hurt like heck. You're going to be really sorry you did this, but then you're going to get your life back. The pain is going to get worse for a short time, but then it will be better from then on. And this is what we all have to do. A foreign exchange student needs to get through the first month. A knee replacement patient needs to get through those first 6 weeks. It must have been that there were times in Simeon's life where he thought he was never going to make it to the promise. But he did, because that's how God has designed life. We do. We will make it, but we've got to hold on and not give up. and trust. Even if the last chapter is glorious and wonderful, the challenge for us is how to get through those middle chapters between now and then. The thing that we have to remember is that once you arrive in the joyful place, the memories of the hardship are so much easier to bear. They change in perspective. St. Teresa of Avila wrote about this quite a bit. She said, when we are standing in the light of heaven, some of the very worst suffering in our life is going to appear to us like a couple of nights in an inconvenient hotel. Inconvenient hotel. And you've had those experiences, those family vacations where you picked the wrong place and you go, oh, remember that place we stayed? Oh my goodness. But it doesn't haunt you, it doesn't traumatize you. You chuckle as you say it. Oh boy, yeah, that was something. Oh brother. So this week we are being invited to consider how our lives would be different if we believed fully that God has designed a happy ending to this story. How would your life be different if that were what you believed and really trusted in? It seems to me that it's a lot like going to the ocean. Whenever I went to the ocean as a kid, or even now, I did what I think a lot of us do. I loved to body surf the waves into the beach. But it takes skill to do that, and it takes trust. Because if you are standing on the beach and you say, I want to ride one of those waves, and you go out to where the waves are, when you get there, they won't be there. You have to go to the place where the water is low. It seems impossible that could be true. It's the last thing you want to do. But you go out to where the water is low. In fact, you go to the spot where the water is going the wrong direction. It's going the direction you don't want to go. And you stand there and you trust. And then when the water that's coming toward the shore meets the undertow that's going out, there's where the curl happens. And suddenly, where there was no water, there's a ton of water and an amazing amount of power, and you can ride that thing all the way back. If you go to where the waves are, it won't work at all. You've got to go to the spot where it seems like there's not enough water. And then the power of that wave will come at the perfect time. So I know what you know about that foreign exchange student story, that at the end of the year that she spends, she'll be crying all over again, but for a totally different reason. If you're going to be a foreign exchange student, that first month is part of the package. If you're going to have a knee replacement, physical therapy is part of the deal. But if you believe with your whole heart that this story has a happy ending, you know what your work is. It's to never, ever give up. And in faith and trust, to hold on.